Hello everyone, this is Vicky Stitchnbutton, and I am here for my number 154 Flosstube. It is Wednesday, March 20th, just after St. Patty's Day. I saw a meme, made me laugh. I think I've seen it before too, but it just makes me chuckle every time. It's like St. Patty's Day is over. You can stop acting Irish. We'll all be Mexican on May 5th. So, it's true. I mean, celebrate it all, right? What's been happening? I'm tired. That's happening. I'm like really tired. Since the market thing, I'm still tired. I never got sick, so, you know, thank goodness. But I'm just worn out, and I don't know if it's just because of age or, I don't know, maybe because I'm old. It is. I also saw something like once you like reach a certain age, you go and hit your finger and it's going to hurt forever. And that definitely is, it's true. Just beware, it's true. So, what do I have in store? First of all, I don't have an old chart. Honestly, I went to look for one, and I didn't feel like digging anymore. And I don't know if I want to do the old chart segment right now. If I find one, I'll bring it up. But I'll have to think of something else to maybe do a little feature thing. But for now, I don't have one, because I'm tired. I do want to give a big old thank you to Belinda. She bought me a coffee. She bought me several coffees. And I've already thanked her, but I figured I'd thank her here. And then I also wanted to do a little update. I had mentioned Ronnie Rowe and how he doesn't have a lot of subscribers. And I think it's because he didn't have the Flosstube thing. Well, I contacted him when we actually ended up on the phone. And he had me call him, and I told him that if he put the Flosstube in there and the keywords, that that might get him, and it looks like he skyrocketed. I thought he was at like 420. It was even less than that. I was like, oh wow, I overestimated, but now he's up there. And as a matter of fact, let's take a look, because like I said, I really think he deserves more street cred, so to speak. And where's that app? There's an app for that.
Well, that was exciting.
Oh my goodness, that was exciting.
Oh
Shh. Anybody else watch Fridays with Frank? He kills me. That's what just popped up. All right. So let's look for Ronnie Rowe. Ronnie Rowe is now at 618 subscribers, which is like 2 to 3 times what he was before. I think it was like 2 to 3 times what he was before that. So I think the keyword thing is catching on. So cross my fingers for him. If you haven't checked out Ronnie Rowe, go check him out. It's Ronnie Rowe Designs on YouTube. And if you haven't seen his stuff, he is on Etsy, but he also, he urges people to definitely go to their LNS or their ONS, their online store, and give them patronage. I have today, moving on, I have today a finish for now, because I told you before that if you're not new here, then you may have heard I started a round robin, and this round robin consists of Sammy J from Sammy J Stitches, Sarah King from My Stitching Kingdom, and Holly. Holly is she runs a lot of the challenge groups, or she has. I know she's running a few right now, one being the Harvest Stitchers, and she is, I'm in a group with her, another group, Jurassic Stitches, I think it's called. So, the 4 of us got together and decided to do an Ink Circles round robin, and I think Sammy said she got the idea from maybe Michelle Bendy, maybe, I think. And we all picked our own, and Sammy's is a little bit different than ours because she's got to be different, oh my god. And mine's monochrome. I basically sent black silks for you, and I'm doing, I think, the Ghost Mandala. Sent that one on. I received Sammy's. She is doing a Rose by Any Other Name, and it's got several colors, and instead of being a corner, it's a wedge, and each flower, each main rose is going to be a different color because we all picked our own favorite colors. And I'll be right back. When the stepdaughter calls, you should answer because, you know, teenagers. Anyway, so where was I? Sammy. Sammy picked by any other name. So everybody gets their own flower color, the main flower color. But there's multiple colors in it, and you'll see. I don't have the picture, the main picture of it, but you can see from here. If you imagine this times 2, then that's what it's going to look like. Here is where we are, and this is my finish for now because I finished my wedge. My wedge was this blue. It's showing up a little bit darker than it is, but that's a blue because blue is my favorite color. And this is Sammy's, and Holly's will go up here, and then Sarah's will go over here. And that needle minder, I don't know where Sammy got that. She sent it with the thing to be on hers. She probably can get to, if you really like it. And it says, stitching is a lifestyle. If you really like that, just message her or whatever and ask her where she got that. But this is being stitched on 32 count fabric flare. It's a slushy. And I think she got it from Cindy Sorley, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know where else you get the slushies, so, but I'm pretty sure she bought it there when we were at Stitch West. And she is using most of the called for colors. So there's that. All right. Put this over here. So that's getting sent off to Holly. I have the other 2 here to do, which would then be Sarah's and Holly's. And I'll probably just do both of them and then send them to Holly, because then Holly will have hers and she could stitch Sarah's. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe. I could change my mind. I do that all the time. I could stitch the one and say, here, Holly, have another. So there's that. All right. Next thing I have up is, it's just regular stitching, and then I have some haul. And I know I said I wanted to do a giveaway for getting 2,000 subscribers, and it stayed over 2,000, which is good because you know how that happens. I haven't gotten anything together. I told you, I am tired, and I am giving myself, what Sarah says, give yourself the grace, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just going at my own pace. I've got things going on. Nothing, well, something, we'll get into it. I'll tell you a little bit about everything. How about that later? So let's get back to the stitching. I pulled this one out. This is one of my categories. I have finished now all of my categories for the Whippagories that Sammy does. And this one is blue, December Blue Topaz. This one fits. I can tell you which one this one fits, because I have my theme right here. This one fits under fantasy because she's a fairy. And this is one that Belinda had sent me because her daughter decided that wasn't her favorite, and Belinda wasn't loving it either. So she was like, anybody want this? And I said, I do. My daughter's birthday is in December. I will finish it. Well, it's halfway finished anyway, so bonus. Anyway, what I ended up doing was a total of, I don't know how many stitches. Hang on. 402 stitches. And my goal was to finish the bottom portion, because the only thing that needs to be stitched, it had to be the leg. I did the leg, and this part of the dress, there's a little bit more dress, and then that part will be done. So next time I pick this up, I'll finish that off, and then the rest is all up top until I get into beading. It's all beading and Krynic that goes through around here. But it's looking good. This fabric, I think it's, I know I have it written somewhere. It's an opal. 32 count Belfast in the color Frozen from Chromatic Alchemy. So, there we go. And Belinda had sent me that needle minder too. She's cute. And I don't know when she'll come out again. It'd be nice if I had her done. It'd be nice to have a Mirabilia finished this year. So, we'll see. We'll see. I still have my challenge that I do where I've decided I'm going to do 300 stitches on all my whips and 500 on the full coverage, and I'm doing pretty good with that. I did achieve my goal last year of doing it, and it means that everything gets touched. Obviously, the ones I put in hibernation, not all of those are getting touched. I did bring the Ronnie Roebuck out, and I think I might want to bring my Daughter of Africa back out, because I was looking at her, and I'll tell you why. later on. Alright, it'll all tie in later. So, what else did I work on? For my medium on Whippagories, it was Love Bugs, and this is one I think I showed in my last video, but I still had some stitching to do on it, and it's from Till and Emblem, and I had started in the center. I am doing mine vertically. I'm stitching this with a few people, Megan and Sammy and Sarah, and I think Gina started it, or she's going to. Mine's being stitched on 32 count even weave from Fabric Flair. It was a fabric of the month. And here's where I'm at. I ended up doing a total of 422 stitches. And I'm trying to think. It was all just border because I need to finish out the border on this. So I only did a minimal stitching after I last showed this. And I really liked the stitch when I started it. And I finished the whole butterfly. And I think because it's fiddly stitches, one here, one there, one there, it's gotten on my nerves. So it'll be stitched. I don't hate the project. It's just I'm not having as much fun with it as I was. So it's going to be slow going. I am using the called for DMCs on this also, by the way. Alright. Oh my goodness, this cough is driving me crazy. I forgot I had this cup, by the way. I love this cup. Alright. If you notice, I said my my goal is to get at least 300 stitches on everything. So when I make my Whippagories choices, I'm thinking I'm going to do 300. Unless it's a full coverage, then I'll do 500. I am actually surpassing those numbers, which is not bad for me, especially this month because it's been crazy. So I did 422 stitches on Love Bug, so I was over 100 more than I needed to. And then I did 402 stitches on the December Blue Fairy, Blue Topaz Fairy. So I'm doing pretty good. I only have 3 more things I need to work on by the end of the month. And I'll talk about that in plans. Next up is Has Words was a Whippagory. And Scary Sampler Has Words. And I love this. And she did the nice version of this, if you guys hadn't heard. But she did do a nice version of this, and I think the house is on the opposite side. So if you're not into the scary thing or the pop culture references, maybe you'll like the other one. This one's being stitched on. I had put it down as 40 count linen from Vicky Clayton, and I am not using all the called for threads. I think I'm using whatever I might have that's called for, or that was close enough. Now, I say it's supposed to be, but I'm starting to think that maybe it's not. And then I got nervous because it's going to be really close. And I think I started about an inch lower than I should have. But when I looked at it, I might have to sew some fabric down the bottom so I can get it into the Nerge or the Q-snap. But I think I'm going to be fine as far as stitching. Here's where I got to, though. I did 501 stitches because I wanted to get, while I was doing prompts, and you know, I've always got to end up with a prompt finish. So I did this Demigorgon, I finished him, and I finally did an alien seed pod head. Alien head seed pod, and then I did another Demigorgon head. Look at that. It looks so good. And, oh, and I started some of the lettering just because I needed a couple more stitches for a prompt or something. So, that will come back out again this year, I'm sure. Oh, and I think I still have some more of these needle minders available in my group. It's Dean Supernatural. Alright. Put one away. Usually when I'm stitching, I like to stitch on one whip a night. Now I could stitch on that whip a couple nights in a row, but it's just easier if I'm not swapping back and forth so much for me. So sometimes that's why I get the extra stitches in also. Okay, for Whippagories Struggle Bus, which my Struggle Bus I chose for this is Let's Do Coffee. And it's a Struggle Bus because it's all this back stitch. And it's 1/2, and then there's quarter stitches. And I'm finding that although I don't mind stitching back stitch as much as I thought I did, it's counting the back stitches for these challenge groups. So it makes it a struggle. I ended up with 318 stitches. Now I say that, but that means that that was double in back stitches. It was 636 back stitches total. And I did pretty good. The board here. And here it is. Alright, so what did I stitch? I stitched the word cappuccino. And then I filled in from decaf. There was like a letter and a half I needed to put in. And then everything under decaf here is done. And the word espresso. So espresso, everything under here. The Vienna. Swiss was already in. So that's where it's at. This is being stitched on a 36 count Vicky Clayton fabric. It's very gauzy. And I don't think I have any more of those needle minders left. Now, little tip that I found is easier for me. All up in here, these are quarter stitches and full stitches. I sort of went back and forth, forgetting that I'm using 2 strands and 1 strand. So the coffee beans are in 1 strand. So it's 1/2 in the coffee beans. When I did this portion, I did 2/2 because I forgot, which is fine, and I'm leaving it. These letters here, I think I did 2/2 also, but because there's so many quarter stitches and it throws off my count, so I lose my spot, I end up doing 1/1 instead of a quarter stitch. I'm doing a whole stitch, 1/1 instead of the quarter stitch. Now, I could do all the full stitches with the 2/2 and then go back and do the quarter stitches. Maybe I'll do that. But what I ended up doing, because 1/1 is 1 strand, I would do a full stitch, okay, how do I explain this? The 2/2 stitches, I had 1 strand on it, so I would go do the leg twice and then cross back over twice to do 2/2 because I didn't want to change out needles and thread strands back and forth. That may change. I don't know. That's future me's problem, right? Because right now I'm working on getting the bottom done. I think Struggle Bus was called again for next month, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. We'll find out next month, right? I do like it. I think it looks really good. That big giant C in chocolate. I feel like it looks like a hole and it needs a something in there. But I don't know. Maybe I'll put a coffee bean in there or something. Just seems empty. So this, I think, is coming back out next month for Struggle Bus again. The more I do on it, the quicker I'll get it done. Oh, fun fact. Okay, so here's my back. I know some people like to see the backs. Right? When I stopped stitching this the one night, apparently I had stopped up here. I did not realize it. And I started stitching. I took my thread and I started stitching down here to fill this in. And I turned it over to end the thread. And I'm like, what is going on? There was a thread going from here all the way down to here. I'm like, how did that happen? Apparently I forgot I had stopped up here, and I thought I had stopped down here, and I just pulled it down and started stitching. So, but it was long enough where I just cut it in the center, and I put the needle under a few stitches, and then I threaded the needle and just pulled it through, and I did that on both ends. So I didn't have the string going. It doesn't look too bad in the back. Because it's so gauzy, you really don't want to drag your thread too far, and especially not over half the cup. So there's that. All right. What's next? Full coverage. So, something I hadn't stitched on yet was Whippagories also. And I figured I'm still trying to get more done on my full coverages, so I'm trying to fit in a full coverage every month. And since there's so many I hadn't stitched on because it's only March, I was able to pull out Silver Moon Tea by Mirabilia. This one's being stitched on Lilac by Fabric Flair. It's a 32 count even weave, and I am using the called for colors and stuff. The chart and beads were gifted to me by Laurel, and I had the fabric. Laurel is also stitching it. There's a couple of us stitching it, actually. And I am happy to say that I got in 511 stitches. There we go. I needed mindless stitches, what I call mindless stitches, so I did a lot of fill-in, and that's why all this in here got done, because it was good fill-in. I was right after I got back, so fill-in was the thing I needed, which I think is a table that she's leaning on. That needle minder is available in my group. She should hopefully be seen again this year. She needs more loving. They all do, but it'd be nice to try to get her at least halfway done by the end of the year, right? All right. That is the stitching. Okay. Trying to get my mind together. I have plans to stitch on coming up. I'm not sure which one I'm going to pull out tonight because I still haven't stitched yet. But I have my 272 words. I need to do the section for March. So I need to work on that. And then I have the two that I said I wanted to work on every month. One is Animal Magnetism. So, and the other one is my Christmas Moose, aka Maurice. And I said in the beginning of the year, every month I want to challenge myself to at least do 100 stitches. It's a low ball number. I've been doing good with doing more than just the 100, but it leaves me leeway for when I have plans for all these other things. That I'm at least getting 100, probably will get more. I've been good so far. So those three are the ones that I need to work on and get done before the end of the month. What's the 20th? So I've got 11 days. I cut out my bags. I have 38, I think was the count, the final count. I have a paper here that tells me, and I can't remember. I don't know where it is. I might have thrown it away. Who knows? I had a paper that told me how many I cut out. And when I say 38, I mean 38 regular size bags, because then I'm trying to use up some fabric or small bits that I have that's enough to make like a bag and a couple of things. So that's what I've been working on doing to pare down my fabric. And so 38 bags, I got that all cut out. I also got all the fleece cut out. I got the vinyl cut out. And now I need to start the ironing. I received, I bought a clock for Guardians of Notre Dame. It was the wrong size. I ordered a 10-inch clock. I didn't realize it meant the frame too. So I sent it back, and then I ordered another one, but it went to Gina's house, so she had to ship it to me. And this is what I'm going to put Guardians on. So it's flat. It's like a paper insert. I really wanted the ornate arms and the silver color. So now I need to go ahead and try to figure out how to disassemble this without totally wrecking it. I think I just need to unscrew that stuff and pull it out. And then I'll iron and mount Guardians of Notre Dame on there. And I will have a clock. So that's the clock I went with. It's a plastic, but it's a brush. Most of the stuff is brushed bronze, but because it's stained glass and it's got that pewter color, I wanted a pewter or silver tone to it. And it's kind of hard to find and have the right size. What else did I get? In that, I had also ordered another one of those kits that I forgot that I ordered. But that was with the clock that went to Gina, and she sent it to me. And this is, I think it's going to look a little bit choppier. I don't know. I haven't started it yet. But it was cheap enough that I won't even be angry. And it is that stamped stuff. I still have not found those threads. I don't know where they're at. I'm not even worried about it. I also, Fiddlesticks AU. If you haven't gone there, you need to go. They're on Etsy. She's great. She's the one that did, she did the designs for Kermit and Piggy, and I'm doing Beaker. And she did Fozzie. And she released this one, and this is so funny, I had to go buy it. So, I don't know when I'm going to do it, but I bought it. Also, you know, I'm an Eagles fan. I should have wore an Eagles hat. I had to go to Walmart and go in, and so we got the bad hair day hat to go in. But Jason Kelce retired, and he's one of my favorite players, so I went and treated myself to a jersey. Gotta tell you, I'm not crazy about the Nike jersey cut. I liked the Reebok cut better, and they were cheaper. But there we go. So I got my Jason Kelce. Alright, back to how the whole Daughter of Africa came up. I was going through, I have to go through my bags every once in a while and make sure everything, the inventory's right. Because sometimes I sell stuff, or people ask for stuff and I fulfill that, and then I forgot to take it off because they didn't say it in the group. Stuff happens. Matter of fact, there's one bag here I have that wasn't even in there. I don't know why. Who knew? I deleted the picture by accident. But when I was going through my bags, I decided to take one of my own bags, which is this one. And I put Daughter of Africa in that one. So I'm going to show you what bags I have left over in case you haven't gone to the group or missed it. I had done some Black History Month bags, basically. And I just love this maroon color. So this is, I have 2 of those. I have 2 of this one. I really like this one too. I had enough to make 2 bags. This was left over from before. I have one of these left, which is basically the same fabric as the maroon, by the way. And that's it for those ones. The other things I have left, this is one that I didn't have up on the group. I thought I did. I must have deleted it for some reason. I have 2 of these sunflower ones left. I have one of these florals left. Two of the Red Dragon. I have one of this Frozen. I have the Sexy Christmas. Oh. I have one of these snowmen. It's got sparkles, guys. I've got one of the poinsettia bags left. I've got 2 of these bags left. This is soft fleece, by the way. It feels so good. If you like the texture stuff, this is really cool. You could sit there and just like fondle your bag. Okay, we're gonna change the subject right now. Yeah. Anyway, I have 2 of these left. It's got the sweater look on the inside. And then I have 2 Christmas chickens. And that's the inside. All right. What's next? I don't know if I'm going to have the giveaway stuff by next time. It depends, because I've been a little stressed. I told you I've been tired. I've been stressed. Apparently, somebody was able to get into my PayPal account and use my credit account to send themselves $400. I was able to get in touch with the credit company, not PayPal. Well, I mean, I put it into PayPal, but yeah. They didn't find a discrepancy in it, which is odd. It went by friends and families, guys, and it said it was going to a Joshua Hamilton, who I don't know any Joshua Hamilton. It was an unverified email. It was Joshua Hamilton 213 at outlook.com. I'm telling you, there's a PSA. Keep an eye out on your stuff. I was sleeping when the payment went through. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. Took care of it right away. I ended up calling PayPal and had them put me through to the credit department, because good thing it didn't go through my bank. I would have had to put something in with my bank. But I was able to get over to the credit department, and the credit department put it in as a fraud charge. So I don't have to pay that $400. And changed my password, obviously, right away. And then I thought it might have been my laptop, so I haven't used my laptop since it happened. And I was able to contact a friend of mine who does computer stuff. And he walked me through some stuff to confirm that I didn't have stuff on. Matter of fact, it's running a scan just to, like, basically triple check anything. So, because I don't want to sign into anything and put a password in and then be able to get it. So I've been kind of stressed over that. And when I get stressed like that, I sort of get tired. And I don't eat right and stuff. I mean, it's angering when people steal stuff from you that, you know, I mean, yeah, it was credit and it didn't come out of my bank account, but it's just, you feel vulnerable, and I don't like that. I actually took the day the other day and just laid on the couch. But then I felt like I paid for it, because I laid on the couch and watched TV and ended up with a headache. You try to give yourself grace and you can't, because your body's like, no, you're not used to doing this. You don't like that. I can't lay down for too long. You just sleeping for the night. I wake up and my back hurts. It's not the bed. I think I've tried different pillows, and every once in a while my back doesn't hurt, but if I lay too long, and everything hurts. So I can't win for losing. I got to keep moving, which is fine, because then I'd be a sloth, which I'm already half sloth, right? I'm babbling. I should be back in 2 weeks. I know I was talking about maybe doing once a week. So unless I see significant progress in stuff that I'm doing, then I'll probably be back in 2 weeks. If I get caught myself. If I get a whole bunch of stitching done, then maybe, or something spectabulous happens, I'll be back in a week. We'll see. Your guess is as good as mine. All is well. All is well. Like I said, I'm just tired, slightly stressed. Everything could be so much worse, but it's not, and I'm good. I'm good. I have put my desk together. Well, Frank put it together, and we got that in place. So now I just have to do the pantry cabinet. And I started going through some more stuff today, and I didn't realize that I had Bisquick from 2 years ago. Who knew? It was never even opened. So the cabinet thing needs to happen so I can get that done and over with, and then I'll feel better about that. So that's all I got. That's all I got. I don't have any plans for new starts at the moment. That could always change. You never know. maybe that's what I need to, whatever, but we'll see. We'll see. You'll find out in a week or two. How about that? I hope everyone's doing well. I hope the weather's breaking for you guys. I know you don't want to hear it, but I hope I'm proved wrong and there is no blizzard, March blizzard up north, because for some reason I feel it in my bones. Like the blizzard of 96 came to mind, and I don't want anything like that to happen, but let's hope you guys don't get any snow, because I know it got cold again. I'll see you when I see you. Don't forget, don't let anyone steal your sunshine.